Hello. Oh, yes. Good morning. We are very happy to be here also. Zsolt and I. We just arrived yesterday evening, had a very pleasant first evening here already, with nice Spanish food and a very nice walk through the city. So we're very impressed by the town and the conference site. I think it's a wonderful place to have this conference, and we're very happy to be here. What we would like to do now, in this first half an hour, is talk a little bit about where Geogebra came from, where the community is today, and what's happening with the Geogebra Institute, both in Spain but all around the world. And then I would also like to talk a little bit about projects, so things that are happening on the software side at the moment. So what are we working at, and what is the next? What are the next features? What are the next things that will come with the software? So let's start with the overview. So that's what I just said. So history, then Zsolt will talk about the community a little bit, and I will show some future projects. So Geogebra really came from two things. It came from computer algebra systems like Derive and Mathematica. I was influenced a lot by Derive, which is being used in Austrian high schools still, although it has discontinued today, and the system Mathematica. And on the other side, there is interactive geometry software like Cabri Geometry, which I'm sure that many of you know and have been working with. And in the States, it's mostly Geometry Sketchpad. And there are many more of these systems, especially in Europe. Cinderella, Ruler and Compass, and so on. And Geogebra simply tried to bring those two things together, to have a system where you can do geometry with the mouse, but also enter equations, so do algebra with the keyboard. And I started this project quite a long time ago. So maybe we will soon have a 10-year celebration. So in 2001 I started this project as a student, as a master student, because I had nothing better to do. So I was bored at that time. Today it's different, because today I have a little daughter. So I probably would not get such a silly idea to start such a project. But back then I had a lot of time. I didn't know my wife yet, so I had even more time. Yeah, but she's still with me, which is quite surprising after many years of working on this project. So in the beginning, Geogebra was only a tool for analytic geometry. So it was really meant to work only with points, vectors, lines, and conic sections. That's it. But then later, of course, people got ideas to add functions, and now we have spreadsheets and all kinds of things. So, many things have changed since that time. One of the most important features that happened along the way of Geogebra, I think, for the development of the community, was the dynamic worksheets. So that means it's our word for interactive web pages, so that you can export something that you create in Geogebra into an interactive web page. And this has led to the creation of the Geogebra Wiki. So it's an online website, which you've probably seen, where many people share their materials. So teachers, students who create materials, they can upload it there and share it with everybody else. And on the other side, many people are asking questions how to use the software. So this is handled by the user forum. And we have it in different languages. We have it in English, obviously, but there is also an active Spanish forum, and several languages, where teachers help each other. So that's also an important part of the community. And we've only started this in 2005. So from the time when I started in 2002 to 2005, or let's say 2004, not many people knew about Geogebra. I gave some workshops back home in Austria, where I'm coming from. But outside of this little world, almost nobody knew about Geogebra. But then with the forum and the wiki, when people could see the materials that other people are creating with Geogebra, so what are people doing in their classrooms with the software, this has inspired many people over the internet. So they could see what's happening, and they got enthusiastic and created their own things. They started to help other teachers on the user forum. And that's really what started the community. So Geogebra is very much a grassroots effort. So it's a project that really came from the teachers. Teachers started to use it, and that's why I continued. So, I mean, I would have just left university after my master's, and I wanted to become a teacher myself. And just the community on the internet kind of forced me to continue. I mean, I like to continue. But I may not have done it if there wouldn't have been the community. So it's really all about the community. And also the community inspires a lot of new features. So they have ideas what we should do and how we should improve the software, what should be made simpler, what should be done differently. All of this is discussed on the user forum and at conferences like this one. So that's why we are very happy to meet people like you. So Zsolt will now talk a little bit more about the community and what's going on behind the scenes.
Hello. I just briefly talk about the community, what is happening with Geogebra, and it's quite astonishing that how many people have started to be engaged with the project, and we get lots of encouragement to continue the project and expand the project. So this is what's happening. So Markus created Geogebra, and then there were some users of Geogebra, but by 2009 we got almost 600,000 visitors per month on the website. And even more surprising than that, we have about 300,000 people download the software every month during the school year. And we try to look at that, who are the users of the people, who are the users of Geogebra. And now we have downloads of Geogebra from 190 countries. Of course, currently most of the users are in Europe, North America and South America, but it's expanding to Asia and Africa and Australia as well. So, just in numbers, what is happening from Geogebra, from a very small project. Now we have about 10 developers who are developing the software in different countries, in Norway, in Austria, in the US, in India, and many other places. Markus will talk about this. I will talk about the institutes, so the idea how we can support the project. So now there are 38 Geogebra institutes around the world, and it's growing almost every week. So the translations of Geogebra started with Spanish in Argentina, and then now we have 50 languages, and probably another 10 languages is currently under progress. So last week we got an email that Geogebra is translated to Nepalese and to many other languages that we didn't even hear about. So there are already 120 translators all around the world. On the wiki there are 15,000 learning objects and worksheets. So the wiki started to be a very useful place to find places, but because we have 15,000 objects now, it's very difficult to navigate. So we will have projects to be able to find things as well. And of course we have millions of users. Probably we don't know less than 1% of the users, but it's very good to see you here, to meet people who are working with Geogebra. But sometimes when we go to conferences, we meet people and then they are very enthusiastic. So for example, last time we went to a conference and there was a lady coming to us telling us that she's a professor in the Philippines, and they found Geogebra and they already trained 3,000 teachers in a year to use Geogebra. Before that we didn't even know that there are some users in the Philippines. So last week there was a news from India that Geogebra is put on DVDs and distributed to 60,000 teachers in India. So these news are coming up, but what we want to know is getting to know the community and support the community. So how we can do this? We were actually it was 3 years ago, we went to a conference with Markus in Canada.